Good evening, and welcome to the Kegler's TV Classic Men's Match Games Championship from Eastland Lanes in Lexington, Kentucky. My name is Emory Provence, and I will be your host for this series of 8 shows featuring the cream of the crop in bowling in Central Kentucky. Working with me will be Joe Wilson, manager of Eastland Lanes. And on my right is Pat Collins, owner of Eastland and Southland Lanes. Pat?
Thank you, Emory. We're delighted to be hosting this great tournament, Emory. As you know, we've been in business here for 23 years, and this is our first televised bowling tournament featuring local bowlers, so it's an exciting day for us. I'd like to point out that the credit to this event goes to Bob Vogt. He's the man that had the dream, promoted the show, sold the ads, made the arrangements with Telecable. Many thanks to you, Bob.
Thanks, Pat. Now, Joe, why don't you introduce the bowlers on tonight's show?
Thanks, Emory. Okay, let's meet the bowlers that will be bowling tonight. Match 1 will be featuring Tim Geers and Don Norris, both of Lexington. Match 2 will be Jim West of Frankfort, Buddy Hickey of Lexington. Match 3 will have Jimmy Hall of Richmond bowling against Bill Hardin, also of Lexington. And the final match tonight will be Tom Rhorer of Nicholasville bowling against Ken Meadors. Well, that's our lineup for this show. Let's settle back and really enjoy the first match right after this word from our sponsors.
This is Telecable, Channel 6.
If you can't wait to go bowling, come to Eastland and Southland Lanes and enjoy open lanes Monday through Friday from noon till 6 p.m. And on the weekend, lanes are open from noon on Saturdays and Sundays from noon till 11:30 p.m. And for all you night owls, Eastland and Southland Lanes offer all-night bowling from 1 a.m. till 6 a.m. every Friday and Saturday night. So if you can't wait to go bowling, visit Eastland Lanes on Eastland Drive and Southland Lanes at 205 Southland Drive.
The first game was ruled off camera, and Don Norris won by 47 pins. They are just now completing their warm-up on lanes 27 and 28. Tim Geers will lead off in the same manner as the pro tournaments by leading off on 27 and throwing one line.
Okay, Emory, he threw his first ball wide on lane 27. It really didn't come up, didn't give it a chance. He's kind of nervous. First time on television and everything. Tim's just 20 years old. Been born and raised in Lexington. A product of our junior bowlers leagues here in Lexington. All right, covered it well.
That was a tough spare, Joe.
He sure was. Now we have Don Norris. He's from Lexington. He's setting up on the outside. Don normally throws a real nice, tight line shot, just an all row. Let the pins take care of themselves. Okay, the bowlers are a little tight. They both let the ball wide, leaving the 1-2. Should be a relatively easy error for Don. Nice spare. So after frame 1, our match is tied up, a spare to a spare. It's much better, much better. There it is. Trip it out to 7-pin for a strike.
That ball really mixed.
Tim pulled this one just a little bit, a little high in the pocket, leaving the 4-pin. He'll play this across the alley. Should be an easy spare for Tim. Okay.
You know, that's probably the most common spare for these better bowlers, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
A ball comes a little high and just fails to trip out that 4-pin.
Just a little tight. The 4-pin and the 10-pin, probably the most left spares by a right-handed bowler we have here at Eastland. Here's Tim in the 3rd frame. Sent a little bit wide again, missed the head pin. Almost got a break, left the head pin by itself.
You don't see that very often.
No.
Head pin only.
Should be another easy spare for Tim. These bowlers in the first few frames are a little tight. There's a lot of lights out. They're not used to bowling on TV. Throwing the ball a little bit harder than normal. Now here's Don Norris. He's an employee of IBM, and he's one of our several bowlers in our association. He's had a 300 game. Comes off the corner, rushing just a little bit, missed that pin to the right, and left a 1-2-4-8. It's a little bit tougher shot here because the ball could deflect and leave the 8. So he's going to have to really rely on his ball holding his line, not breaking too much to cover the spare.
The ball almost needs to touch all 4 pins here, doesn't it, Joe?
Yeah, really needs to carry the spare through right. A little high, uh-oh.
Left the 4-8.
Don just left that one out to the right. Like I said, they're both a little fast, a little bit rushing, a little bit anxious here.
Now that'll put him about 10 pins behind in the match, Joe.
On this one game, Pat.
Yeah.
First match, Don won off camera by 40 pins, so he has a pretty safe lead right now. Don just left the 1-2-9. This is a very difficult spare because the pins will not deflect and get to 9. He has to hit the 1 with the ball and the 9 pin. Looks like a good shot. All right.
Oh, great spare.
Nice spare. Tim also bowling the outside, a little bit more speed, still leaving the outside, leaving the 1-2-4. You notice both bowlers are really leaving the ball out to the right, which is a sign of rushing the line and leaving the ball outside to the right, not letting it roll up to the pocket. He also went through the nose, left the 4 pin. Tim's 20 years old, and he's employed at UK in the maintenance division. His highest average last year was 187. He's a real fine young bowler we have here at Eastland Lanes.
He hammered that one in, didn't he?
He rolled that one fine.
That one brought a smile to his face.
That's where he wants them all to be, right there.
Yeah. Nice ball by Don. Oh, right. Solid pocket lid.
Joe, I think they've loosened up.
Yeah, they're loosening up a little bit, starting to relax. That was a solid pocket lid. Can't throw any better than that ball. That's where you want every ball at. Here's Don leading off the 6th frame on the left lane. Working on a strike. Here we have a double, tripping out the 10 pin. Starting to loosen up a little bit more.
That's the first double, isn't it, Joe?
Yep, first double of our first tournament, first year.
First tournament double.
Here's Tim Geers. Pulled that one wide. Wide left, went out through the nose, left a 3-10. Should make this split by putting the ball between the 3 and the 10. Ball will hit both pins, convert to spare. Throwing it down the gutter. Ball rolled it, hooked a little bit too early, took out the 3 by itself. So Tim opened up for the 2nd time this game.
See this one second,
Jim came back, threw the ball a little bit hard again, and left the 8-10 in the pocket. This is just a ball that hit the pocket, but it's a little bit weak on roll, a little bit too much speed. Does not have enough power to carry out the pins, get them mixing at the end. It's almost an impossible split to pick up. Tim should be shooting for 1. He missed both pins, pulling the ball to the left. That should shut out the match right there. Don's working on a double with a 47-pin first game lead. Strike right here should got in the match. There it is. Nice ball, Don. Turkey. Okay, scores after 5 frames. Don Norris, 96. Tim Geers, 82. But that's with Don Norris working on a double, and Tim Geers is on an open.
Well, that was the way to begin, but before the next match, let's listen to what our sponsors have to say.
This is Telecable, Channel 6.
Don finished our first set with a total of 386 and is a winner of his bracket on the first round. Coming up in our next match will be Jim West and Buddy Hickey. With Jim West will lead off as in the previous format by throwing 1 line on lane 27, and then Jim Hickey or Buddy Hickey will take over on 28 and throw 2 as required. Okay. Jim is lining up for his first shot on 27. And it seems to be predominant among all of our bowlers. They all seem to be a little tight on their opening frames.
Emory, excuse me. Emory, we're in for a real treat. Jim West is the highest average bowler in our association last year and this year too. He's carrying over a 220 average. He's got an unorthodox style, but he's very, very consistent and very accurate. We should be in for a real treat in this match to watch this man bowl. Covered his first frame with an easy spare. Now we have Buddy Hickey from Lexington lining up. He's sort of like Don Norris. A nice tight line shot down the lane, letting the ball roll up in the pocket. Left it out wide, leaving the washout. It's the 1-2-4-10. Should be kind of a hard shot for Buddy to convert with this type of shot. Type of roll on his ball. Little pull, covered it. Real
Beautiful
nice shot. Nice spare. Jim West won the first match by throwing 4 strikes in a row and closing out, beating Buddy Hickey by 21 pins just in the 10th frame. Match 1. Buddy's second frame, left out a little bit wide, but caught the head pin, tripping out the 10, leaving only the 2. Should be an easy spare for Buddy Hickey. Nice spare. Now we have Jim West coming up on lane 28, bowling his second frame. Come Brooklyn, leaving the 5. He pulled that ball up. These bowlers are all nervous a little bit. They're a little anxious. It takes a little bit to loosen their arm swings up, loosen their approaches. He ought to move a little bit left, give the ball some room. He should cover this pin easily.
Seems to me, Joe, the common mistake they're making is getting to that line a little fast, aren't they? The nervousness just causes them to rush their approach.
That's right, Pat. We saw that in their first match and also in starting out this match. I look for Jim to settle down here and really give us a show. This man is...
He's capable.
He's capable of really shooting some big scores here. Let it out. Coming back a little bit. Blew out the pins.
A lot of action on
A
that.
lot of action on his ball. Now you're going to see a contrast. You saw Jim West going for swinging the ball, giving it some lift, giving it some room, and finishing nice. Buddy Hickey relies on a little bit more line, a little bit more speed, and less crank. Just a nice forward rolling ball off the corner. Left it out wide, leaving the split to 2-7. He'll try to hit the 2-pin on the left-hand side and let the ball go deflect over and take out the 7-pin. For a right-hander, this is really not that tough a spare. He pulled it just a little, missing the 2-pin, taking out only the 7. Says a total of 46 in the third. Jim West has 39 in the second with a strike up in the third. Back just a little bit ahead of the ball again, leaving the 2-5. Ball hitting a little weak. An interesting sidelight about Buddy Hickey, he started his own small business, and he's been out of league play for almost 4 months since qualifying for this tournament. He's been not bowling a little or nothing at all. He's coming back and competing in this tournament. Nice spare, Buddy Hickey.
Doesn't look like he's lost his style, though, Joe. He still looks
He's
real
basically
good going to the line there.
He's a basically mechanical bowler and has little effort in his game. Now we have Jim West on the right-hand lane, working on a strike. Ooh. Pull the ball up just a little bit. Ball broke late, early, leaving the 4-6 split through the nose.
Nearly impossible.
Joe, he should go for 1 pin here to get his count.
Just nearly
Right,
impossible spare, isn't it?
Going for 1. That's 1. Wiping his ball off, getting ready. Lining up on 27. He goes, giving a little bit more lift. Send it out wide, leaving the washout. A 1-2, 4-10.
Yeah, he needs to throw the Brooklyn strike for this spare, right, Joe?
Yeah, that's the best way to cover this one. Throwing the ball left of the head pin, hitting the 1-2, sending the head pin over into the 10. Convert to spare. Same shot Buddy Hickey had in the first frame. Too much head pin. Only took out the 1-2, leaving the 4 and 10. Here's Buddy Hickey throwing his 5th frame. A little bit better, left the 4-pin, a little bit tight in the pocket. Point the ball up a little bit more at the pins. Should have been an easy spare for Buddy. Easy spare.
You know, it appears to me, Joe, that a little softer shot might be more successful on these lanes today.
Yeah, lanes
maybe a little slower shot.
Lanes seem to be a little bit slick at the end. The ball's not finishing quite as hard as these bowlers are used to. And to lay the ball down a little bit close to the line and let it roll. Let the ball do the work for them. There's Buddy in the 6th frame. Pulling the ball, Brooklyn. Got a break, carried a strike. This match is really tightening up now. Going into this game, Buddy Hickey was down 21 pins. After 5 frames, he's picked up 10, so he's only down 11 pins. Here comes Jim West back with a strike after 2 opens. A competitor, true competitor, he really is. Taking his time here for the strike. This is a big strike here. He needs to get back that 10 pins just lost. 21 pins is not too much in bowling. Gave some room, nice lift. A little bit wide, leaving a 2, 4, 8. This could be a hard shot. Ball needs to take out the 2 and the 8. 2 pins should cover the 4. A little bit more speed, throw it right at it, hook too much. Taking 9 out. Buddy Hickey can take the lead in the match with the strike in this frame. Pulled it, just a tad, going high in the nose, leaving only the 6.
Almost kind of lucked out a strike there, didn't he?
Yeah, he almost lucked out a strike, and he almost lucked into a split.
Right.
Barely got the 4 pin out.
He's satisfied with the single pin spare, I'm sure.
If he converts a spare, he covered it. Our match through 6 frames is now dead even. He can take a lead, 1 pin with a strike on this ball. Laid it down, rolled it, gave it some room, looks good. Oh, left the 7 on a light rolling ball. That was a good effort. Needs to convert the spare to stay even with the match. Covered the pin. Nice spare. Now Jim West is up on the right-hand lane. The match is even. Buddy Hickey's on a spare. He needs to get a strike to take control of the match. Do it a little wide. Didn't come up, left 1, 2. Strike ball to be able to carry out these pins right here. Move a little bit right, just throw the ball a little bit high in the pocket. Cover out both pins. The match is still tied after 8 frames. Both players working on a spare going into the 9th. This is a big frame in bowling right here, Pat.
Yes,
9th frame.
Sure is. Anchor frame to get something established for your 10th frame where you get bonus shots if you continue strikes.
Looks like a good ball. Blew it out at 7. Blew out to 5-7 on a light lick. Jim West's best shot today. That puts the pressure back on Buddy Hickey's shoulders. They need a strike here to stay even with the match. Pulled it a little bit high, carried it nice.
Oh, he held it right in.
It exploded.
Nice ball speed that time. Just went to the old speed shot and pressure.
Yes, it is. What we call the frozen rope.
Match is still tied going in the 10th frame. Buddy Hickey's working on a strike. Laid it down, pulled it. Pulled it Brooklyn, left another 6 pin.
Almost got by with a strike there.
Almost got by with a strike. I think it's a sign of being out of competition for several months. Going up here and you're herky-jerky and you're pulling the ball.
I'm sure that's it.
Okay, if Buddy converts a spare, Jim West can win the match with a strike on his first ball. Nice spare. Buddy needs count. This is a very important ball. A match that even like this field ball could determine the winner. He laid it down, left it out wide, getting on his 6 pins. Buddy Hickey finished his second game of competition with a 180, with a 191. That's a 371 two-game total, Emory.
Hickey 371.
Now we have Jim West up on the right-hand lane, needing a strike to clinch the match. There's Jim.
That looks good, Joe.
Leaving out wide. That's all right. That's all right. All he needs now is a spare and good count. He'll still win the match. But he left himself a difficult little spare. 4-8. It's a real choppable little spare. A ball could snap on the end at the 4-pin and leaving the 8 if he's not careful. He must maintain his speed.
Watch it.
No!
Oh, Jim West misses a spare and loses the match.
Oh, that's one that went
He
right
misses
down to the
151.
wire.
That was a nice match.
As you noticed, West pulled his ball and got that fatal chop and left one pin. Before we go to our next match, let's listen to what our sponsors have to say.
If you can't wait to go bowling, come to Eastland and Southland Lanes and enjoy open lanes Monday through Friday from noon till 6 p.m. And on the weekend, lanes are open from noon on Saturdays and Sundays from noon till 11:30 p.m. And for all you night owls, Eastland and Southland Lanes offer all-night bowling from 1 a.m. till 6 a.m. every Friday and Saturday night. So if you can't wait to go bowling, visit Eastland Lanes on Eastland Drive and Southland Lanes at 205 Southland Drive.
Before we begin our next match, I would like to remind you that tournament trophies are provided by Foster Hallmark Trophies. Foster Hallmark Trophies specialize in custom design and awards. Bowlers will save 60% off the catalog prices and always with free engraving at Foster's Hallmark Trophies, located at 1146 Floyd Drive. Our next match is between Jimmy Hall and Bill Hardin. The first game was rolled off camera and Bill Hardin won by 11 pins. So on a second match, Hall will lead off on lane 27 by throwing one frame, and Hardin will roll 2 frames starting on 28. Okay, Joe, take it away.
Okay, Emory. Jimmy Hall is a little bit different type of bowler we've seen. He's going to be shooting a little bit more inside than what we have, but still with a relatively tight line. He's shooting between the 12th board and 13th board area. Came up light, leaving the 2-5. That's what we've had our first 2 matches tonight. They're a little bit rushing, a little bit fast with their feet, get ahead of the ball, blocks out the arm swing a little bit, and the ball does not get up quite up to the head pin. It's all in the pocket type. Moving left with the spare, coming across, covering the spare, 2-5.
It seems that everybody's first ball, Joe, is to the right of the head pin. They're just not zeroing in when they first get started here.
Just a little bit nervous. It's the first round of matches. It's the first time on TV with all these lights and everything. Just a little bit tight. Bill Hardin lays the ball nice.
Looks good.
Coming a little high. Leaving a 3-6-10. Bill just laid that ball down a little bit short at the line. Ball rolled, hooked a little bit too early. He's going to move left and shoot cross out at this spare. Again, he laid the ball down short. Ball hooked a little bit early, taking out the 3 by itself.
You know, Joe, he's got that softer rolling shot that I was talking about earlier, and I think his ball would score really well if he got it in the hole here.
He's using a softer shell ball, too, than our other bowlers started out with. Comes up light, leaving a 1-2-4-8.
Is that when he rushed again, right?
Got a little fast this time. He's trying to adjust from his previous shot. Sent this one a little bit wide of the head pin. Difficult spare, needs to hit the head pin on the left-hand side and let the ball take out the 2, 4, and the 8. Lay down short again.
Hold on.
Hooking a little bit early, taking out 2.
He's going to get himself in a hole here if he's not careful, Joe.
Digging a
He
deep.
can quick. He had 11-pin lead going in. Jimmy's already confident coming back with a strike in the second frame. So Jimmy's now ahead in the match. If you notice, Jimmy's playing a little bit tighter line, giving his ball less room to hook, playing just a nice straight shot right into the pocket. A lot of loft, good speed. Oh, here's a double.
Oh, that ball didn't move, but a couple of boards did, Joe. Just straight in.
Straight in, good speed. He must have
Very
speed.
effective.
Must have speed to hold that line. Now we have Bill Hardin coming off 2 open frames in a row. Lay the ball down short again. Ball hooks early, goes in the nose, leaving only the 6. Playing shot left to right, covering the spare.
He just can't afford another open frame.
No, he can't. Now Jimmy's throwing strikes. He needs to start something right now. He started out ahead coming into this match. Now he's behind approximately 20 pins. Moved inside a little bit more. Still laying the ball down short. Ball hooking early, going Brooklyn. Needs to get the ball out on the lane just a little bit.
In other words, he's laying that ball down either on the foul line or even a little bit
A
behind
little
it.
bit short of the foul line right now. Needs to use his legs a little bit more, get a little bit more lift. Cross alley again, cover to spare. Here's Jimmy coming up on the right-hand lane, working on 2 strikes. Strike here, and he'll have a real good lead going into the final frames game. Hung up on his ball a little bit. Still hit the pocket with that tight line, leaving 1 pin.
Sort of bounced that ball out there, Joe.
He's a little bit ahead of it and overturned it, came across the top of the ball. But with that tight line and the speed he's throwing, he can hit the pocket with it and has a chance of carrying a strike. Crossed alley, covers the spare. After 4 frames, Jimmy Hall has overcome his 11-pin deficit starting out the match, and now he's got a 25-pin lead.
Wow, in the whole match?
For the match right now. 5th frame. A little bit inside, threw it out, drifted a little bit left, leaving a 1-2-4. That was a sign of he's a little bit fast and walked to the left. In order to hit his mark, he had to throw the ball back to the right. Less hook, ball has less time to recover. So he misses the head pin, leaves in a 1-2-4. To his strike ball, didn't come across, leaving the 4 pin.
Hardin needs a strike, needless to say.
He needs to start striking right now. Get some pressure on Jimmy Hall right now. Hardin has all the pressure of the match on him right now. Needs to get it going. Drop the ball again at the foul line.
Good. It just held its line right through to the pocket.
Needs a double here to move within 1 pin. Moving farther inside, getting more room. Going high through the nose, leaving a 3-10.
He wanted that double so much there, Joe. I think he just pulled that ball across, didn't he?
He knew he had to have it. Going cross alley. Covers the spare nicely.
Great spare.
When you got a 1-game or a 2-game match like this, you want to put the pressure back on the other fella at all times. You want him to have the pressure.
That's right. There's no tomorrow.
Here's Jimmy rolling his 6th frame. Coming up light, brushed it a little bit, leaving a 2, 4, 5, 7.
That's a toughie.
Gotta be careful, conscious of the 7-pin. Line up is going to throw directly at the spare. Covered it nicely, just the right shot. Jimmy's got an 11-pin lead going into the 7th frame. Working on a spare. Pulled a little bit, going Brooklyn, leaving the 5-9. Looks like he's lining up for a strike ball to cover the spare. Covered it nicely.
Making spares, but just having a real difficult time getting that first ball in the pocket, aren't
I
they?
think they're having a little tight gut feeling in their stomach, and they're really putting a lot of pressure on themselves, not letting the ball do the work.
Right.
Here's Bill. He needs to start going right now. Down. Oh, Lordy.
They give him
Pins
9.5, Joe.
Okay, give him a wiggle. He had the 5-pin and the 4-pin right in front of the 7 on a light lick, and the 7-pin just wouldn't fall down. Uh-oh, pulled the ball, pulled the ball.
Got careless.
In a match this sort, you don't want to miss any spares. That was a freebie.
What's that do to our match, Joe?
Well, as after 7 frames, Jimmy's up 20 pins down total for the match. 30 pins on this game. Bill, give him a little bit more room on 27. Ball slid out on him a little bit. This net pin to the right, leaving the 1-2. Try to make too much of an adjustment on his previous ball in that lane. Just left a 3-10. We have to tell our viewers these bowlers only get 1 ball per lane prior to this match. Well, to make any adjustments prior. And they must make quick adjustments in order to score on these lanes. Bill converts a spare in the 8th frame. Jimmy Hall up in his 8th frame. Strike here can really put the pressure on Bill. Nice swing.
Ball just didn't finish.
Ball doesn't finish. That speed,
Too
the
much
hardness of the
speed,
ball,
right?
doesn't let the ball hook. He has to have the ball high in the pocket to carry solid licks. It doesn't work too well light. The proper way to make his spares, move 2 boards left to the strike ball and just try to roll your strike ball. Send the 5 into the 7.
Close.
Jimmy still is in the lead, but just lost 10 pins.
Bowling in the 9th frame now.
Bowling in the 9th frame now. It's a much better shot. Much better. Solid in the pocket.
A little softer, right?
A little bit softer. Okay, Bill needs a double. He's in the 9th frame. You need to strike this ball and the first ball in the 10th to put the pressure back on Jimmy. Needs a double to get in contention. Solid pocket lick. Can't throw a ball better than that one.
That ball might be back in the parking lot.
I think we're going to have to go check our pins after that ball.
Right. Set some new ones in, Joe.
Okay, Bill's 8 pins down for the match. Working on a strike in the 10th. Nice ball.
Beautiful.
Pressure bowling.
Well, he
Now he
certainly
just took the
waited
lead.
long enough, didn't he?
He sure did. Wait till the end. That put him 2 pins up on the match. I'd like to remind you, this is not for the game. They advanced by 2 game total. We only show the final game of the match. Second ball in the 10th.
How's it look?
Oh, a little bit tight in the pocket. Left the 4-9.
But he does force a double, doesn't he?
Going cross alley, shooting for the split. Misses both of them.
Did he force Hall to double there, Joe, or not necessarily?
160. Bill Hardin finished with a 167. Jimmy Hall just needs a mark and count to win the match. Playing it safe. He misses a hip into the right. Leaves himself with a difficult spare, though. 1, 2, 4, 8. Needs to convert the spare. Pick up 7 pins to win the match. Playing the outside wide. Left 8. Missed the spare. Gave Bill Hardin the match.
Bill Hardin is a winner of this match. And before we go on, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
This is Telecable, Channel 6.
Okay, we have Ken Meadors up on lane 27 leading off. Ken is like in our first 2 matches, we had a nice, straight, soft shot. Little tight line, nice roll. They're a little bit nervous, pulls the ball, leaves a 7-9 split.
Well, that's a rough way to open up this match. They're a nearly impossible spare.
That's a real bad way to start, especially Ken's down 12 pins, and this is going to make him a little bit farther behind. He'll make that mountain a little bit higher to climb in this match.
This color of bowlers, you don't want to spot them 15 or 20 pins in one game. They're all just real fine bowlers, and you can't afford to give them that kind of an edge.
Now we have Tom Rhorer from Nicholasville. Tom bowls at Southland Lanes. Ball down the 10th board, a lot of speed, a lot of ball too. That's a fast 8 with the 9. Ball is just a little bit too strong, hit the pocket a little too hard. Ball snapped at the end, driving through, sending the 5, cutting the 5 off the 9, leaving the 4, 7, and the 9.
And actually, this spare is easier than Ken's last shot.
Gets only the 7 pin. Okay, Tom's going on the left lane now. Laying the ball down. Nice turn. A little bit high, leaving only the 7. Tom's a little bit different from the other previous bowlers. When he's ahead of the ball, he has a tendency to pull the ball through, going a little bit higher in the pocket.
Got an elaborate bracelet on there, Joe. I know some of these viewers might be thinking he's handicapped and bowling out here with a broken wrist, but actually that is a bowler's aid to keep your wrist stiff through the delivery.
Oh, left the 7 pin, missed it to the right.
He may take it off right now.
Yeah, we're adjusting on a split. Ball is a little bit tight. Relax. Now his wristband looks like he's from Star Wars.
Yes, it does.
No, it's really the Cobra. It's one of the fancy new things that bowlers they've come out with on the market the last couple of years. Here's Ken, leading the ball a little to the right, leaving only the 1, 2, 4. On his second spare.
Hold it.
Pull the ball through, leaving the head pin. Both bowlers seem a little bit nervous. Both of them open the first 2 frames. So Ken's only picked up 1 pin and count, so that Tom Rhorer is still up 11 pins on the match going into the 3rd frame. Another pull shot, a little high, got a break, blew out to 10. Maybe that one ball might loosen him up a little bit. Now we have time on the right-hand lane. A little bit smoother release. A little bit high in the pocket, leaving the 6 and the 10. He's not giving
Strong
the
ball. He just pulled that one up a little.
He's not giving the ball any room. He's throwing a soft polyester ball. And with soft balls in these lanes, you're going to have to give it just a little bit more room. I think he needs a spare here to just get his confidence up. Going across the alley. Low pull again.
Pull again.
Missed it to the left.
Joe, get your shoes on. We're going to have to send you down there to roll a 200 game for these viewers.
I think I'm going to retire. Tom really needs to settle down. He's a little bit tight. He's not relaxed. Nice, easy arm swing. A little bit more room. Ball doesn't finish. Leaves a 1, 2, 4, 10. Another washout.
Difficult spare here, too.
Another hard spare. If you don't get out of the gate in matches like this, you get a lot more pressure on yourself each frame. He's really getting tight now.
As they have here today.
Sure.
Here's a spare shot. No. Went through the 1, left the 2. Covered a 9. Thought he had that spare.
Now how's it look?
Match shit looks even. Time for sparing the 9.
Mark here will be an even match.
Make it a close, tight match.
However, if he strikes here, he's got the edge on the 10th.
He'll have the edge. Going to the 10. Nice swing, nice shot. Gave Tom a 3-pin lead going into the 10th, working on a strike. If he can double here, I should have shut the door on Ken Meadors. It's 10th frame ball coming up. Oh,
So close.
so close. Best shot of the day on that lane. Left the 10 pin.
Just a little speed problem there, Joe. A little fast ball that
moved
makes
deeper.
that 6-pin wrap around the 10.
He moved a little bit deeper inside, and the ball came back a little bit later. The 6-pin lay down in the gutter on the 10-pin. Just to change, he made an adjustment, just went a little too far. Crossed alley for the spare. Nice shot. Now here's an important fill ball. He needs count on this ball.
Well, a strike here forced Meadors to strike.
A strike here should force Meadors to double.
I see.
He can strike here for a game of 151, which is not bad considering he had 5 opens the first 5 frames. There's a shot. Beautiful ball. Nice, easy ball. 151.
Certainly did come back.
Okay. Ken Meadors needs a double to win the match.
Wow.
Spare won't do it. Needs a double.
Talk about pressure.
Best Ken can do is 170. It's down 12 pins going into this final game. A little bit ahead of the ball, left out to the right, leaving the 1-2. So Tom Rhorer is the winner of match 4 for this evening's show.
And that's the way it was for today at Eastland Lanes. We will be back next week with 8 more competitors in our elimination contest for our next game, which will be viewed on the following Sunday.
If you can't wait to go bowling, come Come to Eastland and Southland Lanes and enjoy open lanes Monday through Friday from noon till 6 p.m. And on the weekend, lanes are open from noon on Saturdays and Sundays from noon till 11:30 p.m. And for all you night owls, Eastland and Southland Lanes offer all-night bowling from 1 a.m. till 6 a.m. every Friday and Saturday night. So if you can't wait to go bowling, visit Eastland Lanes on Eastland Drive and Southland Lanes at 205 Southland Drive.